prepared.
Good morning, Babu sir.
Morning, Vivek.
Morning, Vinod.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I think we're just waiting for a couple more minutes and just allowing a few more participants to join, and then we'll start.
Good morning, Sam sir.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning, Ramya. Can we start? It's 9:35.
Yeah, good morning. So, yeah, we'll wait for a couple more minutes and then we'll start the session. Good morning, everyone. We'll wait for a few more seconds and we are going to start the session. So hello everyone, happy Friday morning. Hope you all are doing good. Thank you all for joining us for exclusive live webinar on high density metering and diagnosing power quality issues in industries. I'm Ramya, I'll be the host for this session. The agenda of the session is key features and benefits of PQ Doctor, one of our new product specially developed for high impact power quality metering applications such as Incomer. Using the report from the PQ Doctor effectively to diagnose the power quality on offering powerful monitoring solution for application where power as well as the space matter. Using LTAG, our high impact, high compact and modular device offering true power monitoring up to 108 load. And today we have a presenter, Mr. Babu Tige, heading Elmeasure Group as a CEO, started his journey in the field of electronics 2 decades back with 30 plus years of experience in the field of design and manufacturing. And he had received Rashtriya Udyoga Ratna Award with the gold medal for outstanding entrepreneurship and Noble India Award with the gold medal for individual contribution for nation's development. And he has been instrumental in transforming the company from metering manufacturing to complete solution provider. Before starting the session, just few guidelines. If you have any queries, please put it in the chat box, or in the end of the session you can unmute and you can raise your question. It's over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rama, for this kind introduction. I'm so privileged to be a part of this organization. And today I see a good number of people joined already, 115 and still counting. May the Almighty God give us the strength and courage to overcome this and be a good comforter and the encourager for the friends, family, colleagues, and so on. And we will also overcome, we surely shall overcome this. Coming to the subject of high density metering and diagnosing dirty power, maybe the naming we have given little strong. We'll see what the power quality and what is affecting this power quality stuff and so on. Just to give you a background, I won't take much time, not more than 2 minutes. We started in 2004 with young people, like-minded people, and they want to serve the nation. They want to serve the society. Many people were in the field of corporate sector, but yet they were serving societies in terms of helping poor, needy, education, and things like that sort. And such like-minded people have started in 2004. We're doing really well. Grace of God. Today we can say probably 50 plus countries we have, 15,000 clients and 5 million products in the field to say the largest EMS solution provider today in the country. We also take proud of say largest panel meter manufacturer in the country. Last March we did about 74,000 meters in last March. Otherwise, our average is about 55,000 meters. Half of them goes with Elmeasure brand and many other, half of them goes with well-leading brand. To understand power quality, we need to understand just one second. What are the things which is causing this one. These are not exact mechanism. Maybe you will find 10 to 20% accuracy is there within this particular form. You have a voltage drop creating a losses in your system, short interruption, noise, voltage spikes, swelling, sag, harmonic losses, voltage fluctuation, etc. And this is what we need to identify in your system. What is it causing? Major one, and then how do we prevent that thereafter? And you need something which is data to do that, and this will help you in doing that. Now, coming to another major one which will contributing to the power quality, the sag and swell. People call it as dip and swell and call many form. You see the normal waveforms is of this nature, and suddenly you have a dip in the voltage. It could be either due to a mechanical worn out of a motor and so on. It is starving for something, and it could be overloaded due to heavy load which is connected to the motor, and it could be multiple reasons that you could have a sag, and then you could have a swell which is going beyond certain percentage. So that could be because of the inductance, back inductance, which is created, and actually create this sag and swell. Knowing that sag and swell, how many times it occurs in a factory, in a motor, and so on, will help you to overcome this. So I will take you through that later. Now, the source of harmonics are non-linear types like AC drive, DC drive, inverter-based designs can cause harmonics. Single phase load like in fluorescent lamps, LED lamps, personal computers, and so on, so on. There are three phase loads like arc furnaces, AC/DC converters also cause a huge amount of power quality issues, harmonics. There are a few types of harmonics. I'm only talking about few of them in today. The harmonics is nothing but defined as a sinusoidal waveform, a frequency that is integer multiple of fundamental. Let's say you have a 50 hertz as a fundamental, and with 100, 150, 200, multiples of that, you have a waveform of a certain amplitude. That's harmonics, we talk about it. And normally we are only familiar with odd harmonics, which is third, fifth, seventh, etc., which is the predominant one, which is one causing it major problem to the industry or system. Now, in the recent time, due to this kind of thyristor load and things like that sort, even odd harmonic, even harmonics also have becoming a cause of concern. Now, even harmonics are like second harmonics with 100 hertz frequency, fourth harmonics, sixth harmonics, etc., etc. Now we have something called interharmonics, which was not a concern till a few years ago, a decade years ago. If you look at it, this was not even known to people of interharmonics fact. That is nothing but between the two consecutive harmonics, could be second and third and fourth, between the consecutive harmonics, there is another harmonics present which has a frequency different from that. Normally the harmonics are integer multiples. This need not be integer multiple, actually. Will not be integer multiple. It's between the thing. And third one that I'm talking about is subharmonics, which also was not heard of 10 years ago, and today it's spoken much. That is, due to this inharmonics, it need not go only on the positive direction, plus side, integers. So 50 hertz, you can have 100, 150 as a second and third. But then, in between of that is there. But not only on the one side, you can also have it on the negative side, from the fundamental, and below it can have it. The below one is called subharmonics. Sources of interharmonics is, let's say, today if you look at it, the UPS, if you look at it, you have convert AC to DC, and then you convert that back again to AC. Most of them are of the same frequency, so not much of a problem. Yes, it does create interharmonics, but as long as the frequency is also matching it, it is not that bad. But then there are situations that, I would generate a 50 hertz from a 50 hertz source. I will make DC and make maybe a 64 hertz waveform or different frequencies. Such kind of things can cause this interharmonics quite bad. Variable speed drives, high voltage DC, and other static frequency converters, they cause this interharmonics. Then time varying loads like the welding machine, arc furnaces, etc. Sudden load and fluctuation in the load can also cause this particular thing. The standards, the main one I would say is IEEE 519 use IEC 61000, 4-7 and 4-13, etc. Where IEEE 519 talk about fast Fourier transform is an efficient way of measuring harmonics and interharmonics, and we do use same fast Fourier transform mechanism is what we use it. We do have a bandpass filtering to get a better accuracy and remove noise from the system. Fortunately, we are able to get a reasonably good accuracy even at the lower voltage and current level also. Just to give you some picture of how they look like. This is the first picture which shows you the harmonics, and you will find though the waveform is not sinusoidal, and they have repeated mechanism of waveforms. Whereas we go for interharmonics, which is on this right side of it, you will see the waveform is not even happens here. So this is what causes, this is how the look of interharmonics are. That's where comes our PQ doctor. I will talk about PQ doctor later, but it definitely gives you advantage of in your business. You can diagnose these things better. The kind of things that I explained to you now would be able to identify where the problems are, and you will be able to pinpoint that and to focus on that and solve that forever. You can easily diagnose these anomalies in your power system so that it becomes a cakewalk for you in avoiding penalties, reducing bills, saving maintenance cost, and increasing efficiency, etc. What we offer to you is a hardware and a software together. The meter looks like the one which is on the right side. Then it comes with a lot of flexibility for you. You have a mobile app, you can see from anywhere the data and so on, real-time monitoring of entire power quality, Harmonics, Axwell, etc., etc. And you can also get a customized SMS and email alert so that you take an action immediately. Now, some of the features of this particular product are, they look like this. I'll just show you the product. This is how the product looks like. Very compact and so on. You have a Ethernet port, you have a USB port, you have Wi-Fi, you want to have a better strength, you can have an antenna too, and you have an RS485 port also. So all three, which is available in this particular things. And Wi-Fi, which is, so three different communication, which is RS485, Ethernet, and then Wi-Fi. Now, this has a browser accessibility, which makes everybody's life easier. From wherever you are, data is available everywhere, and you could see that actually. And this meter have a speciality. It's not just a meter alone. It also acts like a gateway. Now, you want to have one of this at the incomer, or you want to have several meters elsewhere. You can actually connect them through RS485, and then this can actually collect all those data and then show inside the meter, and through web server you can see everything. That's one specialty you will find with this particular one, making our life easier. It's a hassle-free storage and transfer. It has a 512 MB storage inside, and with the pen drive, you could have even more, 8 GB and so on. You don't lose the data for the meter asset, plus the one which is connected, multiple of them. You can connect as high as LTAC, which I'll talk to you a little later. Almost like 108 single-phase devices, or divided by three-phase devices can be connected to this particular things. The entire information is stored inside this particular meter. Multiple connectivity, like I mentioned to you, Wi-Fi, Ethernet, TCP, IP, plus RS485 is available. Regarding the further feature of the product, I'll talk to you later. The more visibility talk about increased profitability, and that's what we promise you using these power quality meters, that you would get it. It also gives you insight on the factory running of machines and so on, where they are and how the behavior over a period of time, and are they getting into it deteriorating certain factors? Is the current consumption going higher, or is it behaving it worse compared to another one? And all this can be identified, and good kind of insight you can get it, and making sure that failure of equipment can be avoided. And the breakdown causes major problem than rest of the things actually. The whatever otherwise saving that you can get it. But if you can also prevent the breakdown, why not? I'm not guaranteeing you preventing it for 100% and so on. At least to your thing, you give an advanced information, you have a information to focus on where to attack and so on, and maybe backup and all those things can be done. So prevention of a failure can be done reasonably well with this particular product. It has a live alert and proactive action you can take it. What Elmeasure provides you is a premium solution at unbelievable cost. Such kind of product by an Indian manufacturer is not there. And I'll talk about the product a little later. So you will understand the kind of strength it has got, the technology it has got, and so on. In spite of being such technological advantage product, priced at probably 1 lakh and above by elsewhere, this is a very competitive product. We want to serve the society, which is one of our vision, mission, values that we have it. We want to pass on the same thing to the industries we serve, actually. If we are here to survive in this market, you are the reason behind it. And why not, while supporting the society, in the betterment of the society, why not the same customers who are giving us the bread and butter? So this is giving it a very, very reasonable price and so on. What it has is, it has a higher end power quality meter with the memory, and 15 months of free LNet cloud subscription is what you're going to get it, with multiple dashboards and reports available. Free SMS notification and pre-configured meter to install and start monitoring within a very fraction of normally time is taken. Within 15 minutes, you are up and running it, and no problem at all. This is get your credential by ordering it with us, and as soon as the purchase completed, we'll send you the login credentials to you, and you will receive the PQ Doctor in few days' time, and start doing it within 15 minutes of time of installation is done, and you start getting into your data. To give you the technological advantage of this particular product, PQ Doctor, we have two variants. One is in LED, another one is in LCD. LCD have a lot of graphical things comes into it. Otherwise, LED can also do the entire function. In fact, since it is a web server built in, it does not matter whether you have an LCD or LCD, because you can see more visible in your laptop or mobile or anywhere actually. So it doesn't make, but you have two variants available with you. Unique features I would say is it has a real-time THT and individual harmonics. Not only the odd harmonics, which is predominant everywhere, we do have even harmonics also available in this up to 63rd level. It has a power harmonic distortion, and a total demand distortion is also TDD is also available in this particular product. That's why we call it as a very, very higher end power quality meter. You can see on the right side, all these products are built in RTC, so you can high, low, everything is stamped with the RTC. It has a phase-wise energy through communication. It's a powerful feature. Many of them don't have this feature. And I would say this is one of the best in the industry, is being this in the incomer side. You can use this for every motor side, the individual load, and so on, so on. Absolutely no problem. It is good. Now, we have catered this, considered this being an incomer sector. The load sharing in an industry is a very tough job. Maybe your consultant would say initially, this is how you are to connect it, this section, how to go to R phase, Y phase, B phase. The distribution is done this manner and this manner. And generally, they are not same. They go even as bad as 30, 40, 50% variation between one phase to another phase in terms of loading it. Because maybe at one point of time, they will be more or less same, but maybe some of the things which is switched off and on, you find the huge variation in each phases. Otherwise, you'll only get a total information and does not have any real-time data or any data for the previous time, how things have been, etc. Friends, am I audible, and can I continue further? Any one of you?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes.
It has a CO2 emission, on-hours, power interruption. It has a high-low profile with the timestamp. This has a high-low profile with two different things. Normally, all of you may be familiar with the high-low profile, which is till you reset it, you may have a couple of high-lows and stored with a timestamp. That's for a lifetime. Or when you come and reset the whole thing, and again, what is the next high-low times is what you're all familiar with it. And this has a even more better high-low, apart from what you already knows it, is that every 1 minute he takes the high-low of current, voltage, power factor, and things like that sort. stored inside the meter, not when you're trying to poll it. It's actually stored inside a meter, inside a register. So within 1 minute of time, anytime when you go and poll the data, what to happen in that 1 minute, which is the highest one, which is the low, is pulled out from a register map and not that particular one single data. So that's a powerful feature it has got. Apart from the normal high-low profile, it also have a 1 minute high-low profile also. Very unique feature, I would say the next one, the dynamic communication, wherein you could actually store what predominant parameters that you wanted, 60 parameters that you wanted into this particular register. Believe me, this is a too good higher end product. It has more than 10 blocks of information, each block's having a 60 plus parameters stored. I'm talking about close to 1,000 numbers of information is available in this small device which I showed to you. Now, if you were to poll all this data and so on, it takes a longer time. You may not require. For your industry, you understood. Now, this is what I need to attack it. Maybe certain harmonics, third and fifth and seventh, they're the only one which is causing it. Rest, I don't find any problem. You want to find out what critical parameters that you want of your choice, up to 60 parameters. And you can actually put that into one single block of you can do by yourself. And then you can poll that one single poll become very, very fast actually. So instead of polling it 10 different blocks and getting all the information and deselecting what you don't want it and selecting what you want it, this is a better method of doing it with the least traffic. The data usage is much lower and you got what you wanted. Very powerful feature which nobody, as of today, it has in the country or in the world actually. It has a cloud connectivity through Wi-Fi or Ethernet. Mentioned you 512 MB of data logging. You can choose 1, 5, 15, 30, 60 minutes, etc. for logging inside the meter. Its configuration through web server, simple, very easy. Direct pushing the data to the cloud. So multiple number of tomorrow, you want to have a 10,000 devices of this high loaded power quality meter to software. It becomes quite simple. The loading is much less because it keeps pushing it at the interval what you wanted programmed. Auto configuration for Theox software. That's our Elmeasure platform of software, a joint venture with an American company. Of course, we are the one who's providing the know-how and so on, so on. This stands for the Internet of Everything. So the software which actually you can, not only for the meters that you have, of course, today I'll be covering only on the meter part, but the Theox actually covers Internet of Everything, any kind of sensors, any kind of things that you can connect it to this, and you can still have a very good data on with this. Individual harmonics up to 63rd level and 512 samples per cycle is a very unique in India. And we are also trying to come out with the 1024 samples in this financial year with the TFT and so on, so on. So let me not speak about that. It captures all the power quality events like K factor, crust factor, sag and cell, which I've shown you, interruptions and unbalanced voltage and current in accordance with EN 50160. Records all the sag cell events with the timestamp. Then you have a phase-wise voltage sag cell information and waveform available in the graphical version. Of course, through the web server, everything is available for you. Some of the features like 12 AM snapshot for 100 days. So every day, how much was your energy kind of thing. Of course, when it comes to the software, you don't need this, but somebody else who is competing it or tendering it, saying it, and I have a 12 AM gives you every aspect, but still it is one of the good features that 100 days of everyday information is available. Similarly, you have a 31st day snapshot stored inside the meter for 36 months. And multiple communication is not dual communication, I would say triple communication. You have RS485, Ethernet, or Wi-Fi. Between Ethernet or Wi-Fi, it's only one of them among those two, whereas 485 is dynamic. So you can have two communication, independent software looking at this product and taking the data completely independent. Continuing on the features, they are not the best features, but you have programmable starting current, programmable update time, whether you want to have a 1 second, 5 seconds, etc. You have auto scrolling of certain period, voltage square hour, ampere square hour. Ampere square hour is a very powerful feature if you want to look for the DC load to some extent. That's a powerful feature again. It measures, not measures, it calculates the neutral current. So you would also get that. And as I mentioned to you, this is not just a power quality meter by itself. It is a gateway come power quality meter. So you can actually expand the branch monitors, or PDU, what you call. Today I'm going to introduce to another product called LTAC. 12 of such LTAC can be connected to this particular device, and you can read all those data inside this particular one. On the note, I just mentioned it, though the whole overall cost of this product is generally sold above $1 lakh and so on, the Elmeasure is trying to give it to industry at a very, very reasonable price of $20K with a 15 months free subscription. I will not take much time here. I'll actually show you real stuff, how it will help you. You have several dashboard in this particular one, named voltage analysis, current analysis, THT analysis, the way it is, energy analysis, harmonics, and several reports like 5 reports, daily energy average PF report, then hourly energy report, monthly energy average report, and TOD report, etc. I will actually show you a real live demo where you would actually get to know about the product technology and so on better. Before going into, I have one more subject to talk to you, which is these kind of new product, which is called LTAC. You call it as branch circuit monitors or power distribution monitors, anything you can call it. We call it as LTAC. It's an Elmeasure tag, or it's electrical tag, any way you can call it. This is very, very tiny strip, I would say. You can see that's the kind of strip we are talking about, which has about nine holes that you can see. We have done it in Bangalore. Of course, it was not done with best in design. That's because both of us were not part of it when we were designing it, consultant designed it. And then we were offering a afterthoughts process where they were not planning for a branch measurement at all. We went and placed these particular things in the system and made the entire 18 channels of information. We were able to read it. So this is actually the whole panel is designed not with the meter. Of course, with the meter, one you can see on the left side, which will be the one which is measuring the entire consumption of the whole panel, and not the individual bifurcation that you can see, all two-pole, several of them you can see it over here, and the termination comes here, and whoever wants it, they can take it. That's the purpose it has. They were not planning to introduce any of the measurement devices on the distribution side. We pitched in and said, hey, look, you don't need to have redesign the whole thing. We can do that. So we went and placed these things just close to this. You see this distance of MCB, you all know that is about 90 mm. And maybe the gap what you have is about 90 mm. This is about 25 mm is what the LTAC has a dimension. And then the whole wire goes through it. And that's what you see on the right side. Believe me, actually we could have done even far, far better than this if this was for a 3-phase measurement, wherein one will go next to each other, like the way I showed you the previous page. It actually sits very next to MCBs. This is MCB. It sits here, and you can see this is flat, not flat. It's my LTAG is below the height of this place where you do the tightening of the screws and so on. So any well-known brand of MCBs, if you take it, this will fit in very comfortably, and the integration time, the panel spacing, which I'm going to cover to you immediately, is fantastic. you see this MCB, what you can see it here. What we claim here is 50% reduction of panel space, assuming that you have a MCCB, an ELR, and so on and so on. If you don't look at it only the metering part of it, understatement, I would say 50% reduction is much higher actually. I would say even you can reduce. We call it a zero space. I'll explain to you a little later. Why do we call it a zero space? Look at the scenario. For any MCB, if you want to have a cable taken, you would normally keep about 100 mm away from that. Your cable trench will be traveling it, either below or above. Now, we call it a zero space because once this cable is connected to this, and if it is a three-phase MCB, three-pole MCBs, and this LTAC has 9 holes that I mentioned to you, all the 3 MCBs wires can actually comfortably go through that and reach the cable tray. Now, let's say the LTAC was not available to you at the time of installation. You did the whole job. Even then, you can remove this 3 from each MCB, which is 9 connections, and nobody will see. Connecting to a meter is a technical, people only can be done it. But connecting to an MCB, a normal electrician can do it. So if they do the wiring and goes like that, and that's their expertise, somebody else comes and then to connect this particular things is so simple. He comes and remove the 6 wires, and since there is a 100 mm gap between the MCB and the cable tray, you would be able to pull out the cable, insert that one, and put it inside, and then move the LTAC towards the cable tray, and you have comfort level of seeing the wire where it is, screw where it is, and tighten that and bring it back. So actually, literally speak, it does not need any space at all. If you talk about a 3-pole MCBs or even 4-pole MCBs, I'll tell you 4-pole MCBs immediately after this. So the space saving is quite huge. It's a pass-through, no separate spacing required for CT and CT cabling, as LTAC offers direct pass-through features. Okay, I did not mention about what happens to the, if it is 4-pole. If it is 4-pole, you may have to connect only 2 of them, which is taking about 8 space. It has a 9 holes. So 2 numbers of 4-pole MCB took 8 hole space, and 1 is empty. Now you could use it for 2, fine. The 4th wire could be neutral. You can also pass the neutral wire just like that to that. It measures the neutral. It has the capability of identifying what is the neutral connection or whichever phase it is. So it has an auto detection of what phase it is, whether it is phase or neutral, and everything it has that detection internally, and he store the information. So even for 4-pole, absolutely no problem. You will have 1 extra holes which is left. We can only use it for 2 of them if you were to keep it so close. Fortunately, we give you with an optional clamp, dingtail clip. This can be kept little away. Even 4-pole, 3 numbers can be rotated little deviation. It won't be straight 1:1. Little deviation, it can be done very comfortably also. The second claim that we do on this particular things is it's 90% easier installation. You just have to spend only 10% of normal installation time on this particular one. Believe this LTAC, all the wire which is taken through this 9 holes, very simple, electrician can do it and move away. And what it has is a 4-pole insertable, pluggable RYB neutral connectivity. With that, he automatically detects it, what is internal, what is the phase you connect to the current, which phase you connect to the current, all this is detected by himself actually, including neutral current. Now you have another side, you will find a 485 2-pin port. So you can, several of this you can actually loop through and connect it to the one which I showed you on the master meter 485. Now look at the cabling wise. If you were to talk about a 9 single channel meter placed in a panel and do the wiring, you will have something like about 72 cables move around for this 9 individual channels of meter if you were to do it. As against this one has only 4 on the voltage, 2 on the 485. If you talk about three-phase information, even then you needed a 42 cables, that is you're only having 6 things. That 6, when I say it's a pluggable, very simple to do it actually. You don't make a mistake of whether are you connecting the voltage connection, the current, or that mismatch will not happen at all. And the beautiful thing on this particular thing is at the end of it, you connect many meters to this, and a single click on this will configure the entire 12 numbers of 9 channels or 3 channels of LTAG. It can entire information comes here. And then using web server, you can name it which channel is what, and so on, so on. Things become very, very simple. We say it's about 30% the overall cost benefit because you save in terms of wiring a huge amount. You save in terms of panel space a good amount, and save in terms of physical cost of the meter also reasonably. Of course, this comes with the technology, and this comes with the good features like all the basic parameters, power and energy parameters, most of them available. Even this LTAG have a couple of things like the parameter that I mentioned to you here, volts and frequency, all the power parameters, energy parameter, and TST. It's a modular and scalable. You can have up to 108 channels of single phase information meter. And this is powerful for the data centers, hostels, and industries where you want to really make the distribution measurement comfortably. Very good. Even for retrofit, if you have an industry which is not planned of any other energy management solution that you never thought of, this is still a good bet that you can plan and get it very comfortable without changing your panels or panel size at all. Data redundancy, because now this is expected to keep in the same panel. You have one panel, this one, several of these things in the same panel. So the 485 connectivity is never get disturbed. In a normal scenario, you will have multiple meters placed at different places, and you would do the wiring and all the way from the first panel to the second panel to the last panel, etc. Here it is not like that. You have a meter and several of them within the panel itself connected, and through either Wi-Fi or Ethernet or through 485, it just communicate. So reliability is very good. Since this is connected within this, the data of LTAG also stored inside the power quality meter. You have another variant. There are multiple variants in this. You have up to 63 amps is what we offer in this particular one. And we say with a limit, you can only use 10 mm square wire. So 50 amps with overload of 63 is perfectly all right. Not 63 and then an overload is not possible because you can only connect a 10 mm square wire through this particular one. You have a 50 amps, can go up to 63 amps maximum, 32 amps and a 5 amps version. One more connector will come here for dual source sensing. So the same thing, 9 channel single phase dual source meter packaged into such a smaller one, or 3 phase 3 channels of dual source information packaged into it. Now this can actually standalone work. You can see the display over here, or you don't need the second variant is without the display, which you can connect it to the master. The master will show you all these parameters inside this. It has an auto detection, phase detection, as I mentioned to you last time. 3 phases, even neutral current, he understands and measures it. Of course, if you find his auto detection is not the best, some mistake is there, you can actually force learn, this is my neutral connection. That's another thing that you offer in this, along with this particular product. That's it from my side. Before we go on to the questions, I would actually take you through the software live thing, wherein you will be able to appreciate it much better. Now, like for example, this is what this is a live thing that we can see. Okay. Now you can see the voltage today. How is it? Reasonably steady, 400 and something like that. You will know that. And then comes a look. I don't have a sag and swell today happening in my industry. Let me see if anything happened in this week actually. So it shows in a pie chart everything is 0, 0, 0. That's why it shows that manner. We're talking about sag swell and interruption. Let me go forward. This week, did anything happen of this nature? Yeah, I could see that there are 2 times sag occurred. So the whole thing is sag. Now, if I want to go for a month's time, and I can see that, and where it happened, how it happened, and what period it happened, all this information I can trace it back and solve that once for all. My speed is a bit limited. Okay, of course, it's coming. I went for the PQ doctor THT analysis. So you have, this is a kind of THT that you're finding it. And what is the voltage THT, 1.57%, etc., etc. You can actually see 1.66. You can put a benchmark and so on and show things like this. Now, for example, this was my yesterday's pattern of my current. You can see my RYB phase is more or less same. It's more or less balanced, I would say. And we were able to do that. At one point of time, this was so huge. And we consciously moved certain loads to certain phase. And you can actually see over the whole day, this has been consistently closer. Okay. Now, I can know when the current is very high, my THT level is lower. Maybe in the night when I switch off, when I'm not working it, you can see my THT level is going really bad, especially on my B phase. That's because I connected my UPS, majority of them to that. So UPS is still running in the night, and that's why you find, though the current is, load is very negligible. The load on the right side, left side is the THT percentage. So if I look at the load, it's very negligible, about 20 amps kind of load in the night, whereas I have a huge THT percentage in the Y phase because I connected my UPS. And whereas I don't have much problem with other things and so on. Now, so we could see this, and we can also expand it and see, oh, look, where the problems and so on. We can do that very comfortably. Likewise, you have 5 different dashboards. Maybe let me go for this. This is another dashboard that you can see current analysis, which I was failed to show you last time. You can see this. So you can see that this is the pattern of my load. I start my day at 8 o'clock. You can see this, not at midnight thing. I start, this is my shift 1, and that's only shift that I work actually. And the rest is the things. You can see some of the spikes here and so on. Now, if I want to see the pattern for over a period of 1 week and so on, I choose the 1 week, and he gets you. So that's the kind of pattern that I always have it. Maybe because this Saturday, Sunday, it's less. Otherwise, this is how the whole thing is done. So it's very comfortable to identify what problem in terms of loading, in terms of sag swell, in terms of transient. All these things very easily identifiable and do that. So let me not go for this dashboard. These are 5 dashboards that you can see it. And everywhere you can actually have a threshold and then an alarm also if you need it actually. Now, when I say talk about alarm, the beauty of this particular alarm, unlike in some of the EMS solution are, you can have alarm based on a threshold immediately crossing it. You can have an alarm based on immediately, not immediately crossing it, consistently happening for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, half an hour, only then you trigger the alarm. Or you can have a, maybe for energy and so on. So much period, in a 15 minutes, I'm not supposed to have more than 50 K or 100 kWh, not allowed. So he can program that and then give a trigger and all. So little bit of logic is also available in this particular product. Now when it comes to the dashboards, I talk to you. Now report, if I go for it, you have several reports like this, average PF report and things like that sort. So that also can be comfortably get. So that's the power of different kind of report, TOD report and so on. You will get that very easily. Each lot, how much is it, etc., etc. Different kind of energy and so on. So these are all things which comes with you as a standard in the power quality meter. Hope I have conveyed the need of power quality doctor and why we use it and what are the costs of such kind of a power quality and how do we overcome that. Any doubts, I'll go back, I'll stop sharing or I will go back to the questions please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was a nice session. I request participant to unmute yourself and come up with the questions. and we have a question from Shanmugam. The device shares the data as a multiple device or a single one device?
Okay. Can you say that one more time?
Device shares data as a multiple device or one device.
No, it shares as a multiple device. Let's say you talk about this particular one. You have 9 channels. 9 channels of energy is available as separate. Available in the meter here. You can see if you have a display, or master you can get it. So now if you program that as 3-phase, then you have a 3-phase in summed up also. So you have a, yeah, hope I answered your question. Can I stop sharing the thing and take only the?
Yeah. I think always Elmeasure think of customer pain point and coming up with the innovative products. I think this is the one more step towards more innovative.
Yeah, that's a strength. You guys are the energy for us, energy boosters for us.
So I request participant to raise your hands or say yes, or so we can unmute yourself, unmute, and you can raise your queries. We'll open for 5 to 10 minutes.
There are some more questions.
Chat window.
Yeah.
Something, I'll tell you this one. This is going to create a history because it's so simple in terms of installation and the cost effectiveness. After thoughts.
Question filter.
If anybody wants to give us some product feedback also, we'd be interested in some product feedback. That is also possible. And these are typically used in data centers. You see branch circuit monitors. This is a very simple way of getting your own branch circuit monitor built up. And data centers can use this quite well. And, any other questions that anybody has this morning?
Hello, this is Srijit here from ZB Technologies.
Yeah, Srijit, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm very much interested to see this product like LTAC. Like if you could share some videos of installation and other product manuals, it will be like easy for us to understand more. And one more question, what I have with this LTAC is that, can it work independently? For example, if I install an LTAC, can I take direct data directly through RS485 to my controller?
Yes, you can, Srijit. So this can actually extend as an independent device, especially when I give it to you with the dual source and so on. It does not make much sense with the connecting to the master.
Okay.
So if this has an independent one. You have 485, you can choose it and take it to any software. It does not matter.
Okay. Also, like, can I understand a little bit more on the commercial side, like how much this will cost if it is not that confident?
Okay.
We'll send.
Let's say for the volume, this could be something like about approximately.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
12 to 15 for the volume of 500 numbers. Okay. Now, when I say 12 to 15K for 50 to 100, imagine the kind of cable saving on this particular things, the panel savings that you do. This comes to you probably at free of cost. That's an over-exaggeration, but definitely don't look at the price of this alone. This may be a price of 3 numbers of 3-phase stuff and so on. Definitely lower than the 9 numbers of single-phase meter. Definitely lower than that. But we need to consider this as easy installation. How can you do it on afterthoughts? There are multiple. I'm not here to say competitor X, Y, Z. Since you asked me this, this can go into kind of MCPs of a standard one, well-known one. You can go. Okay. Similar kind of thing. It will only go with the X make and the very high. Then there is somebody else clip-on thing which will only connect it to that. That's super expensive. So if you look at compare the expenses for this one, I would say you're paying it you're practically paying it 5 times low.
Thank you, Mr. Babu.
Thank you. I think we have answered your question, and we have few more questions here from Mahesh Agarwal. May we program each meters to record a different data?
No, this one happens. Volt amps frequency WVAPF, energy 2 of them, WH and VAH, and a TST. So limited parameters, only one block information only. So that all of them. Now, when it comes to the master, what